Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Now today's video is going to be something really special because I know there have been many students in September 2023's intake who have been finding it considerably hard to find accommodation in the UK. So without wasting any more time, let me tell you that this video is going to be really important for all of you out there who are trying to find accommodation in September 2023's intake. So let's get right into it, guys. So before we start this interesting video, I wanted to let you know that obviously because I've received tons of questions about trying to find accommodation in the UK in the last few months, especially because September 2023's intake is nearly at hand and people have been struggling to find accommodation. The most important question is, why is it hard right now? So I came to the UK a couple of years ago and it was fairly easy for me to try and find some accommodation. Obviously, there were some friends of mine who had booked an Airbnb and then found a more permanent accommodation later. But as of today, there are thousands of students already in the UK, which is making it harder for students like you who are planning to come into the UK next intake or even in the next year to find accommodation, because most of the accommodation sites have already been gone. Obviously, a couple of years ago it was easy to find accommodation, but right now it's gotten progressively harder, especially if you do not have family or friends that you know in the UK. Because firstly, for most UK accommodation, when you rent it privately through a landlord, they might request for a guarantor or for somebody who can take responsibility for you to pay your rent in the UK. So that is one of the major problems international students face when they come into the UK, because they cannot find guarantors for themselves. Now, the second thing, like I explained, is usually what happens is when people come into the UK, they are quoted a particular rent. So they may be said that, okay, your house or your room is going to be costing about £500. But when they actually come into the UK, that's when they realize that they need to pay for bills, water, heating, additionally, or even Wi-Fi, which is really sad now that you think about it, because then these students are conned out and then they are asked to pay more money for all of these facilities. So this is one of the other reasons why it's getting progressively harder for students to find reliable accommodation within the UK these days. So today we're going to be speaking about Amber Student Accommodation. This is your one-stop all-answer shop for all of your queries about finding a room in London or in the UK. Now, why is it so important to find a good room as an international student? So usually when you are an international student, you want to find accommodation fairly close to where you are going to study. Because obviously, if the distance is further away from your university, it's going to increase your travel time, but it's also going to increase your commute cost to your university. And what's been happening right now is obviously because students are not finding accommodation, maybe say in London or Birmingham or Manchester or even one of the other cities, they are having to move out of these cities into wider spread areas, and it's increasing their commute time and their travel costs, which is not an ideal situation for students. Now, if you want to beat this problem, you are in the right place, because Amber Student Accommodations has nearly 1 million beds across the globe. So it's not only in the UK, you'll also find it in the US or Canada or every other place. And the main reason why I keep recommending this is because it has budget friendly options. Now, I understand that many of us come from middle class families and have very tight budgets when we come to study in the UK, just like me. And I appreciate that. And Amber Student has budget ideas for each and every one of you. So it doesn't matter if you do not have a very extravagant budget and want to find something within a slightly smaller financial means, because Amber Student is there ready, waiting for you to help you find these. Now, what is the other reason we're recommending Amber Student on this channel right now? One of the major reasons is that Amber Student has verified listings in the UK. So you do not need to be worried about whether the place that you're going to be securing is going to be a random location or is going to be in a place that is not very safe or not very secure, because Amber Students make sure that it checks out the place and verifies it before you land in the UK. The second reason is that you get what you see. So for example, when you go on the website and you see a certain listing or you see a certain property and you're quite happy with it, you are concerned. I mean, for example, when I see properties on spare rooms, I will actually go there and be like, okay, fine, this is the property, but I need to go and view the property in person, because sometimes that's not exactly what is shown on the pictures. But with Amber Students, you do not need to be worried about it. Be rest assured that you will get what you see. So if you see pictures like these on the website, trust me, you will find the same luxurious properties that you are paying for. What are some of the other reasons you should be booking with Amber? Well, firstly, they provide you with one-to-one assistance. So if you are concerned about this and are worried about where you will be finding this property, I would request you to go in the link of this description just to find the direct link to their website where you will be able to fill out a form, and there will be one of Amber's associates waiting to tackle your query and help you find the best accommodation for yourself. And the second thing is that it's fast and it's easy. Now, again, there are many of you all out there who will be concerned saying, Nikita, I'm not coming as a person alone. I have my family, I have my spouse, and my children coming along with me. Will Amber be able to accommodate me? And the answer is yes, because it doesn't matter if you want a single room within a shared accommodation or if you want a flat for a slightly bigger family. Amber is out there waiting to solve all of your problems. So it is a one-stop shop for all of your queries related to accommodation in the UK. Now, coming down to the most important point is, like I've said before, Amber is very affordable. So it has budget options for all of you guys out there. If you are somebody who's recently planning to come to the UK or wants to come, you would have heard many people staying in Airbnbs and then finding a more reasonable accommodation for themselves. But let me tell you, Airbnbs these days are very expensive. For example, just look at this right here. Airbnbs in London are costing nearly about 1,000 to 1,500 pounds, and that's not really affordable for Indians, Pakistanis, Nigerians, or anybody else, because that's nearly 1 lakh to 1,50,000 Indian rupees, which is not an easy money to put up with. Whereas if you check out some of the Amber listings for London, you will see that you find accommodation in as least as 120 per week or 130 per week, which is, if you sum it up to the entirety of the month, less than 600 pounds. Do you see the difference, guys? From 1,300 to 600, it's nearly half the value for your student accommodation in the UK. Now, one of the best things about Amber Students is that while it lists down the property, it also lists down all of the facilities and the amenities on the website. And another brilliant thing about these guys is that you do not need to go on your laptop. You can do all of this search, all of this viewing, all of this listing right from the comfort of your mobile phone. So if you have queries about it, do not forget to check the link in the description box below, because that will take you right to the Amber Students website, through where you will be able to book these fabulous accommodations by yourself. So now, coming down to one of the final questions that I know many of you guys have out there is, Nikita, whatever you've shared is really good. How do we book this? The answer is in 3 easy steps. So the first thing that you need to do is discover the property that you would like to make your future home for the next 1 year while you're an international student in the UK. The easiest way to do this is by finding the location of your university or finding the broader location where you would like to reside in. Type that down and you will be shown options on the Amber Student website. Once you've identified potential properties, you can add them to a shortlist list and then finalize through that which property you would like to live in. The next thing you need to do is just get all of your paperwork sorted. Now, don't worry too much about this, because this is where the one-to-one assistance from Amber Students is extremely helpful. So they will help to fill out all of the paperwork that you have. But in the meanwhile, guys, what I would suggest is that you take this opportunity to do a 3D view of the room from the mobile phone that you are using, so that you are quite happy with what you are choosing and you are confident that Amber is going to meet your needs. Through this entire process of filling out the paperwork, you can go through hundreds of reviews, and you can also get 24/7 assistance through the Amber website, which is extremely helpful, because trust me, when I was trying to find my accommodation, because I didn't know about this amazing institution known as Amber Students Accommodation, I had to go back and forth with several landlords through spare rooms, organized viewings, which was not helpful at all. But trust me, the 24/7 assistance will definitely be something to help you streamline all of your thoughts, take your stress off finding a suitable accommodation, because these guys are out there willing to help you at every minute of every single day to find the best place that you can for yourself. And finally, the last thing you need to do is get your accommodation booked. The best thing about booking these accommodations is that it is a globally integrated booking system. So it doesn't matter if you are making payments from India, Pakistan, Nigeria, Bangladesh. All of these payments can be streamlined through the Amber Students website, and these guys are extremely helpful with it. The second reason these bookings are so easy is because all of their rental contracts can be found online, and this takes your mind off all of the stress that you would have potentially when you come to the UK. And lastly, these are instant bookings. These are quick, fast, reliable. So this is one of the reasons why you need to consider yourself a lucky person if you get Amber Students right on your track from day one. Now, I know some of you guys will still be skeptical and be like, Nikita, is this reliable? Let me just drop some of these comments from previous students in the past from several universities all over the UK. And before I wrap up this video, let me inform you that Amber Students is not only in London, not only in Birmingham, not only in Manchester, it's in other places such as Edinburgh, Glasgow, Sheffield, etc. So if you are concerned about it, please do not be. I would say just use the link below, find yourself on the Amber Students website and go through it. Because if you make a booking through them, you can be rest assured that they will be the ones to guide you in your future finding a home in the UK. Stay well, guys. Take care. Bye.